Okay, right now it's like way too high. Okay, let's bring it down. Bringing it down. Bringing her down. We're gonna leave it there. Happy birthday, Virgo. All right. So it took me a long time to get the camera. I like natural light for my videos, but you know, the box lights are back there, and I just don't use those that much because sometimes it's really bright, and they're my friends too. Hey, Tanisha, you texted, you messaged me on Instagram something, and I think it was in regards to a post. First one here, yeah. And you know, I haven't really done a live on YouTube in a while. Okay, so it's gonna work. It's gonna be a strong connection, and we're gonna get it out. Oh my gosh. Let me drink some water. How was your Pisces full moon? That was in your seventh house of relationships, agreements, contracts, anything that you feel connected to someone with that involves expectations, right? Progress, relatability concerns, things like that, fairness, all of that. So I feel like you might have been in that sort of place. Also, you know, maybe there's some elements of travel there too. So I'm going to be using the Druid Craft Tarot today. I've been using these for a while. And then I'm also going to be using the Druid Animal Oracle. So I'm going to pull a card from this for you all. I just got those, so they're kind of like not really, hey, they're not, I haven't been reading with them for like a long time, maybe like 3 weeks. But happy birthday. I know the August Virgos have already had their birthdays. Thank you all for being so supportive. You know, you guys are usually, everyone, I'm starting to say, everyone is always usually very, um, I don't know, attentive in the Virgo gang. You guys are my most frequent watchers. Sorry, I'm trying not to say that so much. You are my most frequent viewers, my most like usually. Virgo. I might have to like do this a few more times because it's getting kind of choppy, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's like maybe you're fighting with yourself about something. Okay, it's starting to clear up. All right now. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do like an ascendant spread because I haven't done that in a while. I usually do like that 3 stack, but now I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna, you know, go into the full thing. All right. If you took advantage of that midsummer flash sale, thank you so much. I feel like it was a success, and yeah, I really appreciate it. So I feel like there's a little bit of conflict going on in terms of like work for you all. It could have something to do with like family issues that are happening, or it might even have something to do with just you yourself, right? Maybe you might not be feeling as confident as you normally are, you know, and it just might be because something that someone said made you feel a little bit intimidated or uncertain by their words, right? Because it may have made you put something into perspective or change your mind about something that you probably didn't want to change your mind about. Or this could just be like someone trying to prove you wrong about something, right? Or someone trying to prove someone wrong about something. And it kind of like, what do they call it? It, no backlashes. What is it? I can't think of that word. Yeah, but it sort of like turns around on them. It spins around. Someone help me with that word, okay? Because I'm trying to think of it. Okay. But yeah, you know, it seems like there was already some tension here, right? And sometimes these sort of conversations or these instances when we're like arguing with people or there's like some kind of like strong disagreement or a debate, it's coming from a place of you know, personal issues that someone might have with whatever the topic is, or it could be like certain sensitivities that one has to the topic that's brought up because it challenges their belief systems or it challenges like the way that they saw themselves, right? So it's kind of like that, you know, someone could just just be like testing you in some kind of way, or there may be like you might even be feeling like there's a lack of respect or a lack of understanding as to like what you have to offer, because the fives do talk about questioning what I have to offer, what is my life purpose, that type of thing like that. But this is kind of like someone not really understanding your point of view, you know because we don't know everything that we learn. We don't know everything we need to know in life from our families. You know what I mean? When you grow up and you become an adult, you have to kind of like learn for yourself through the interactions that you have with people. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. And this is just kind of like a lesson learned. You know what I mean? Um, because it might even have you pull away from certain people, or maybe you won't open up certain conversations with specific people just because you know like how their perspective is just kind of skewed, right? Like it could even be like religion, political topics, anything like that, right? But it does have to do with friendship, so it could be with a friend or a family member, right? Or somebody you're in a relationship with. Or a job, right? Because this could be like being uncomfortable with the subject matter, or what someone brings up, like the topic, right? Because it's Venus in Aquarius. I have Venus in my 11th house, so it's kind of like me having Venus in Aquarius. You know what I mean? But it's in Leo. Which Venus just went into Leo today, and I believe that Mercury went into Libra yesterday or the day before that. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at that, and it's kind of like the fear of being opposed or objected by someone. You know, you can speak your mind and not care if you know that someone is going to disagree with you, right? That type of thing. Or maybe that's what you're saying to someone else. You're like, you can believe what you want to believe, but I'm going to believe what I want to believe too. And that doesn't mean that either one of us are wrong, right? I don't think there's a wrong or right there. So let's go ahead and turn over the center card and see what's going on with it. Right, there it is. It's the King of Swords, so it's Aquarius. And this card is Venus in Aquarius. Like I said, Aquarius rules the 11th house. And the King of Swords is mastering his own identity by being able to think for himself. That brings stability to the ego, and it stabilizes the ego. It also stabilizes your relationships too. So your relationships become stronger when you become less dependent on your relationship's validation or the approval from others to validate you, or anyone else validating the way that you think or your opinion, right? And also, don't question your own knowledge, okay? Just like that could also be what this is. It's almost like you know what you're talking about, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Also, this is like someone not changing their mind about something, right? They're being a little bit stubborn about something. And I feel like you've learned your lesson in terms of being too involved with the concerns of other people. It's like I have things to do on my own. I have bigger fish to fry. Not even bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean? For some of you, it might be that, but really, it's kind of like I literally have like a multitude of things that I could be doing that don't necessarily have to do with me sitting up here trying to convince you of anything. You know what I mean? Like, hello. So let's see what the challenge is, because this is kind of like distance, detachment, maybe like a little bit of cutting energy, or maybe, speaking your mind was a very like impactful thing, right? Backfire. That's what I was thinking of. Okay. When someone says something and it backfires. Oh my God, I was gonna go crazy. See, I have Mercury in Virgo, and I have Mars in Virgo, so I was like, I'm gonna think of that word. Anyway, that's it. Thanks. Oh, this is good for you. See, when you detach from relying on other people to make you feel like you are connecting with your experience in a way that makes you feel like you're getting a lot out of it, it's like you actually get more out of your experience by knowing yourself more, not by knowing more people. You know what I mean? So it's not always about getting people together, family and stuff, of course, but I'm talking about like friends, like distant people, so it's not, you don't want to try too hard for like people that may not be trying that hard for you. You see what I mean? Like that type of thing. And the Ace of Pentacles is just saying that's going to be a good result. There's good results in you thinking for yourself, mastering your own energy, and really just focusing on what needs to be reinvigorated. You know what I mean? Because the King of Swords is talking about something that has maybe gone cold, right? And also something that just is like ideas. What are your ideas that you stand firmly in? You know what I mean? And what do you want to do with your ideas? How are you going to manifest something from that? Right? What's the new potential? Okay? And what lessons have you learned that are going to be very pivotal in you, like becoming this new version of yourself? Because it's also it's like being resourceful, being well timed, that type of thing. You know, this is the reduction of the card that is Mercury and Virgo, which is the Ten of Pentacles. You know, so this is an opportunity to earn something, and this is also saying that you have earned something. You know, and when you focus on what you need to focus on, then you can create more. Right? You're putting time and energy and effort in the place where it needs to be put. Yeah. So this could also be like a new job y'all are thinking about, because it's like the Ace of Pentacles over the King of Swords. So you're thinking of that, or you're thinking about how you can produce something new that's gonna probably bring in some revenue for you, right? Um, yeah. New focus, new goals too, because that King of Swords directly relates to the Four of Swords, which is Jupiter in Libra. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the past. Recent past. Wow. Jupiter and Libra. Okay, we got the Two of Swords, which is pretty close to that energy, right? But this is like trying to decide, right? Exactly. Look, it's just so crazy. You know, you're thinking about something, you're trying to decide something, right? But you're almost kind of like insecure about making this decision because you don't know what's going to be on the other side, and also you feel like you have like two options, or you have more options. So it's about reducing something down. I think you need to think of the pros and the cons of the situation, what you might be winning, what you might be losing, what you might be giving up, because there is an element of sacrifice here. So, a situation might actually be, or an opportunity might actually be good for you, even if it doesn't um, incorporate one of the requirements that something that you had that you really valued did. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you can change it up. It's almost like if you're looking to move and you want a two-story house, and the only thing that you could find in your price range was like a one-story, you know what I mean? Or like with a car situation or something like that. Um, or a job that has benefits. Now that's different. That's very challenging. Like, if a job has benefits, then most people would say you need to go to that job. Um, but this could even be talking about, um, feeling uncomfortable about how your relationships are affecting your ability to choose for yourself, decide for yourself. And this is always also saying that you're spending a lot of time, you're waiting to make a decision about something. You know what I mean? Indecisive, for sure. And you're letting your emotions overpower that. So that's what's making you indecisive too. You almost don't want to even think about it or face the truth about something. So you're gonna have to face the truth about a relationship parting, or about you having to leave, or you having to move, or you having to change jobs, or something like that happening. You know what I mean? So you're like, I don't know what to do. Think about what you're passionate about first. Okay. Think about what you're passionate about. Think about what your needs are. Think about what's going to make you feel more comfortable and more secure. Okay. Um, yeah. And you're gonna have to like give up something, because there's an element of control here. The reason why you're not making the decision is because you kind of like know that it's like you want to be in control of something, but it's like you gotta give something up to get something. You know what I mean? You can't be in two places at one time. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what's in your sun position. And your sun position is the Eight of Pentacles, which is Sun in Virgo. So that's right now. So this is saying that you need to get to work, doing whatever it is that you are trying to progress in. If you're producing something, that if it's ideas, because the eights all have to do with intellect, so this is coming up with ideas that are going to be able to be like, um, cured, primed. They're, ready to go. Maybe this is saving money. Maybe this is producing something. This is sharpening some kind of skill too. Because the more and more you do something, or the it's finessing something. It's perfecting something as well. This card is going to be coming up on October 1st. Okay, and the last time that this card comes up in terms of like days was September 3rd, okay, which has been very recently. So, whatever you've been working on between September 3rd and October 1st, that's sort of like the timetable, or that's kind of like when you're going to be coming up with ideas, or that's like when things are really going to be like being produced, you know what I mean? And it's also, let's see, sun, opportunity. What is it that you love doing? You know what I mean? What are you obsessed about doing? What are you really passionate about doing? And it's talking about being of service too, because the eights are talking about strength from the strength card, courage, motivation. What motivates you? That's where your power lies, and what motivates you. People should do the jobs that really mean something to them, have the careers that really mean something to them, because then you won't get jaded. You know what I mean? Then you'll always be inspired, right? Because this talks about being able to reproduce, because it's mutable. So it's talking about changing, and it's adding things up too. It all adds up. Practice makes perfect as well. So whatever it is that you're trying to perfect, then you just need to keep doing more of that thing and explore it a lot, right? Because it is the sun. The sun talks about like if you open things up, or if you try it, you know what I mean? It's like the fear of trying something too. Don't fear trying something new, right? And that's also that control thing, right? The fear of trying something new, or the fear of being something new, or the fear of letting something change into a new situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's good when things start happening like that. It's like, whoa, your life is now moving, right? It's like it's like an organism. I don't know what I'm saying. But yes, and it's also talking about the confidence too. You need to have more confidence in yourself, that you have the ability to do all of the things that you have been doing. You're doing it. If you're doing it, why not do it fiercely? Okay? Or just have the confidence like you are doing it fiercely, and then eventually you will. You know what I mean? What do they say? Practice makes perfect, for sure. But then they say fake it till you make it. Oh, it's 2:22 on the clock. That was fierce. Okay, let's look at the moon. Thank you, Spirit. I'm so glad that this video is working on. Right, look. I said fake it till you make it, honey. Keep it going. Work hard. This talks about hard work that gets you somewhere. You know what I mean? And this is coming kind of like from that Seven of Wands energy. You know, it's almost kind of like you're like fighting against something. You know, it's been a long road, and this is the same road in this deck that the Three of Wands is. The man is standing there with his foot on a tree stump, holding with his hand up on a tree, looking down at a road for something to come. And this is him, or whatever we were thinking of, to come down that road, and now it's tired. You know what I mean? And this is talking about feeling restricted of opportunities, feeling like something has gotten in the way, feeling like it's been hard for you to really like come around to something. It's almost like the road that has been carved or paved has been a long one. You know, it's almost like your body is aching and tired. Some of y'all need to get a massage. Some of y'all need to do some things for your physical body. You know what I mean? That's going to be kind of like healing. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I mean, obviously, look at this. And this is also saying like, ask for help when you need it. And maybe you're trying to do too many things right now. You're gonna have to do one thing at a time, right? It's a lot of pressure that you're putting on yourself, because this is Saturn, and Saturn puts pressure on you, and it wants you to work hard, you know, to create opportunities for yourself. But you actually might be tired of a job, or you might be actually tired of one aspect of your job or one aspect of your career. Okay? Because it's a 10 and it's Saturn in a 10. But it's kind of like your philosophies may have changed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to see that. And it's like your foundational goals. Your goals have changed, right? It's like your goals have changed. Like what you want to do have changed. You're like, okay, yeah, this is good. I've done this for quite a while, and now I'm kind of tired of it, and now I want to do something else. Okay, and it's interesting because it is a cardinal planet and in a mutable sign. Um, so let's go ahead and look at what's going on in the anxieties here. The death card. So this is talking about anxieties of something ending or the anxiety of facing the dissolving of something, you know, because this does talk about boundaries, right? And giving in to something, right? Sacrificing one aspect of what you want or desire, you know. There's something that you can't necessarily like control, right? You feel like you're gonna have to let go of something, but you want to kind of like hold on to it as well. But like you can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? You just can't, right? Um, Whatever that means. Because you might be dealing with a Scorpio because this is what that card is. It's a death card. But what other signs? Okay, yeah, this is the only major arcana card you got now. Okay? And you have a 2 here, which is related to the Judgment card, which is Pluto. That's transformation. Here we have the Death card. Then you have the 8 of Pentacles, which is related to the 8th house, for me, of Scorpio, which is talking about transformation, the power of it. And then you have a 10 of Wands here, which 10 is talking about completion as well. And then you have Saturn, which is talking about boundaries and like completion to a degree, because it's the last planet that we can see in the sky, right? You can see Saturn now and you can see Jupiter now. It just depends on where you're looking. And when I look in the sky and I am looking like, shucks, Eastern Horizon, right? It's kind of like south. I don't even know how I would do these coordinates, but Eastern Horizon around like 9 o'clock at night, you'll see 2 stars that look like that in the sky. One is like small and further away, and one is a little bit brighter and looks a little bit closer. The closer, brighter one is Jupiter. The further, more pointed one is Saturn, I believe. And then over there, you can't see. I'm just like, and Pluto's there too. You know, just because I know they're all in the same spot. And if you know where the moon is, then you can kind of like follow the cycles. But this is talking about, you know, something changing for you. Yay. And it's also just like the anticipation of it and like, you know, something changing forever. It could have to do with like family. It could have to do with parents. It could have to do with something that you want, like your ego. You know, so your ego wants to hold on to something that it can, and it no longer can. A, the ego is very complex. Because I'm sure a lot of us probably think that it only means one thing and it represents one thing, but I'm sure it does not. Let's look at Mars on that note after the death card came up, which is a 4 related to the Emperor. Okay. Interesting. So we have Mars in Scorpio in the Mars position. So I feel like you're putting some intention and aggression into the fact that you might resent that something has changed, that you know, you maybe didn't really want to change or care to change, and this could be at work, you know, or this could be in family as well. There could be some sadness, or there could be something going on there. Um, this is just kind of like coping with feeling like something is unjust, just because, or unfair, right? Because I mean, it's a 5 and it is related to the Hierophant, which is Venus ruled. So, you know, Venus does want things to be concrete. And this is saying that this was not concrete, whatever this is. The 5 of Cups. And it's kind of like, you know, resentment towards that, yeah, as a result of it like not being what you probably wanted it to become, or something didn't hold the power that you get that you think you foolishly gave it to represent for you, right? Because this is talking about emotional validation. Like, I didn't get to the point where I felt like it was really what I wanted it to make me feel like. Perhaps. Let's look at what's going on in the Venus position. Okay, so this is referring back to the Ace of Pentacles that is crossing the King of Swords here. And the Prince of Pentacles is a Princess of Pentacles is saying, like, here's a new opportunity to make an adjustment in a meaningful way, right? Or you're looking at something that could bring about change or introduce real change into your life. This is a job, too. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when this card comes up, it's like an interview, right? Or it's kind of like the potential or the hopes that something actually could be coming through, you know, because, oh, I stumbled upon something. This is definitely a stumble upon, right? Because when it's an announcement and it's something that is physical, it's kind of like when you find money on the ground. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, oh, look at this. And it is an announcement because it's like, oh, so it's like finding something or something just kind of like popping up or something becoming available to you that is a tangible thing, right? It could be a search too for something, or you could be strengthening some sort of skill, or you could be thinking about investing in something that is going to pay off for you in the future as well. Let's look at your future cards. Speaking of that, we have. Yes, I see. I said you're thinking of investing in something that is going to pay off for you in the future. Okay. And here we have the Six of Pentacles, which is related to the sixth house of Virgo, which is where we are right now, and that's you. And then it's the moon, and the moon is talking about cycles, but the moon is also talking about, what you care about, what is important, what encompasses all things that are well, right? Um, and it's Taurus. So it's the moon in Taurus, Six of Pentacles, and this talks about the reciprocity or receiving something through an investment, right? Or making an investment offering of some sort. And it's searching for something as well. The moon and Taurus both talk about homes as well. So that could be something for some of you. Maybe you just recently moved, or maybe some of you moved and you stayed with somebody, and now it's time for you to go ahead and find your own place, and you're doing that. Or some of you are thinking about, like, where am I going to move, or am I going to invest in something, a lease, a house, whatever it is, a job for sure. Okay? Ace of Cups, right? Future position. I told you. Great. Love it. Perfect. It's here. This is you. Birthday. Do it. Okay? These are some good ass cards to end with. Look at that. This is, an onslaught, a deluge of emotional satisfaction. But it's like, it comes from giving in, right? Because for this Five of Cups energy here, right, in the Mars position, you're having to, like, let go of something. You're having to, like, not, you're having to, like, let something just, like, disintegrate. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I'm going to forget about that. But it's sad. It's like, I'm leaving my favorite apartment. Or it's like, I'm leaving this job and it was good, but I'm moving. Or it's like, something like that, right? Um, let's see what's at the top here. Nice. Princess of Swords, right? Definitely a new idea, a new intention, a new space, right? For inspiration. Okay? So you're making room for inspiration. You're making space. You're searching. You're being just kind of like insightful. Yes? You're being inspired to think about things in a new way. Um, and it also does talk about how we mature and the elements of life change the way we think. Our environment changes, our landscape changes the way that we think. When we learn more, it changes the way that we think. All of that. So when you're like unaware of something at 25 and then at 32, you're like, wow, this has really changed the game for me. Or like it's making me see something in a different way. Whatever that thing is, it's like that's meant to happen, you know what I mean? You're meant to grow, you're meant to change your mind. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what if, if nobody ever changed their mind, then, that's even stupid. Why am I even saying that? You know what I mean? Stop. But yeah, like learning. And also use your charisma and your wit. You know? It's kind of like flirting with opportunity with the Prince of Swords as well. Princess. Now I'm gonna pull your oracle, your animal oracle card from the Druids. And then I'm gonna get my ass in the shower. I'm pulling from the center, but I have not always been doing that. It could be blank. Oh. Ooh. Definitely gonna be getting the book for this. But this kind of like is healing, it's remedy. This is the adder, which is a snake. Is there something that you don't trust? Is there someone that you don't trust? Hold on 1 second, okay? Give me a second. Give me a second. Because I just want to read you guys the keywords, and I also want to, I'm like, what was behind me? And I also want to, wow. It's transformation and healing. I mean, I could have told you that, but, you know, I didn't want to just say that because it was a snake. But there are shells here, you know, cleansing something. You're letting something, you know, go, right? You're giving in. You're surrendering to something as well. Okay? And the adders, they shed their skin, so that's always something that's going to be happening, you know. And this is kind of like what we're getting ready to do right now. We're getting ready to shed the skin of summer, which is bringing in some new ideas, right? And it's inspiring us in different ways, just because that's what mutable signs do. They're very inspired, you know, to do things differently, because you've got to like let life show you different things that you haven't experienced, and you have to reach out and grab those things sometimes, because, you know, no one's gonna force you to live your life. I love you guys and girls and people, everyone. Follow me on Instagram. If this is your first time watching the channel, I'm Kendrick. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. On Instagram, it's Providence Tarot there. And my personal account is NYC Kendrick as well. My personal account, I usually post like just stuff of me and fitness things, because I teach fitness and I'm a dancer, studied at Juilliard, and now I'm dancing for 2 companies here in New York City when we are on season. But right now, you know, the arts are nothing. Or not nothing, you know what I mean? But we're not doing anything right now. My last show was definitely in December. So it was at the end of the year, and then we had like, you know, a couple months, and then they were like, bam, you got it. Oh, thanks, Lost Demo. I love y'all too. Make sure you like and hit the notification bell if you have not done that. And the weeklies are up, or the proofread is up for the first half of September. If you haven't watched all of those, make sure that you check your sun, your moon, and your rising, and look at which house your sun is in, right? If my sun would be in my 5th house, then I would look at Leo, right? That's not the house my sun is in. But if that was the case, then maybe there's something there for you. They're like 15 minutes now instead of 10. You know, they used to be 1 minute, and then I started putting them up on IGTV, and they were 10, and now you can do 15-minute videos. So like, I'm just making them 15 minutes, you know, changing when opportunity arises. I'm like, I don't have to do 1-minute videos every time. I can do a little bit longer video, and that gives you a little bit more information. It's almost like getting a full, you know, reading. Anyway. Yeah, so that's it. I will talk to you all later. Bye. I need to get ready.